jika ada Cikgu Aisyah ataupun mana-mana siapa-siapa yang nak engage dalam discussion ni, just boleh open mic dan saya ready. Dan jika ada soalan, akan ada Q&A session pada akhir sesi ini. So pertama sekali, sebab sekarang kita panggil scholarship season, so saya nak cerita dulu pengalaman saya apply scholarship ni 2 tahun lepas pada tahun 2019. Saya batch SPM 2018, so saya apply pada tahun 2019. So personal experience saya apply ke 7 scholarship, iaitu Yayasan Khazanah, YTN, Petronas, PNB, MARA, Bank Negara dan Yayasan TM. Saya basically waktu tu target saya untuk secure scholarship je lepas SPM. So saya try untuk apply ke basically semua badan-badan scholarship yang ada. The reason saya tak apply JPA is that waktu tu saya ada silap faham bahawa saya ingatkan kalau apply JPA, kalau apply MARA tak boleh apply JPA, tapi sebenarnya saya rasa sampai sekarang pun benda tu polisi tu dah berubah, boleh apply ke dua-dua. So setelah saya habis application saya tunggulah dalam lebih kurang 2 minggu. Selepas 2 minggu tu saya dapat email daripada beberapa badan untuk pergi interview. So saya dapat interview daripada 4 badan scholarship, which is Yayasan Tenaga Nasional, Petronas, Bank Negara dan juga MARA. Saya untuk scholarship body ni ada course yang saya apply lain. Contohnya YTN, disebabkan tak ada course ekonomi, jadi saya apply untuk course lain, saya rasa data science. So itu terpulang kepada diri anda. Jika anda rasa anda nak try juga untuk apply scholarship tu, you just go ahead, tapi make sure that you know the course lah. So setelah habis interview tu, banyak ada interview yang saya rasa down, ada interview yang saya rasa saya perform time interview tu, ada interview yang saya balik, saya rasa memang confirm takkan dapat, tiba-tiba dapat. Lepas interview tu saya tunggu agak lama, dalam masa 2 bulan, dan selepas 2 bulan tu saya telah mendapat 3 scholarship, iaitu MARA, iaitu scholarship di College MARA Banting, scholarship Petronas dan juga scholarship Bank Negara Malaysia. So saya at last saya choose untuk scholarship Bank Negara Malaysia, membuat bidang ekonomi. So timeline dia sekarang, saya baru habis peperiksaan A-level, peperiksaan pre-U untuk pergi ke overseas, dan insyaAllah pada bulan 9 ni, jika result saya okey, saya akan menyambung pelajaran di UK. So disebabkan topik kita pada hari ini ialah mengenai scholarship essay writing, saya kira ada beberapa, bukan semua badan-badan scholarship memerlukan essay writing. Saya rasa ada hanya 3 scholarship yang memerlukan essay writing, which is Yayasan UEM, Yayasan Khazanah dan juga Bank Negara Malaysia. Okay. So first of all, saya nak cakap mengenai the reality about scholarship application. Yes, it is true that it is hard to secure a scholarship, but just because people say it's hard, it does not make this impossible. Kebanyakan syarikat-syarikat NGO scholarship untuk overseas hanya mengambil dalam 20 ke 40 scholar. Syarikat-syarikat NGO ni saya maksudkan ialah syarikat-syarikat seperti TNB, syarikat-syarikat seperti Bank Negara, syarikat seperti TM. Mereka hanya ambil around 20 to 40 scholars every year untuk overseas. Kecuali Petronas, saya tahu Petronas ambil agak banyak, around 150 to 200. Tapi dulu masa saya apply pun saya rasa macam layak ke saya ni untuk apply scholarship ni. Tapi if you don't apply, that means that you are already out of the game. So saya nasihatkan, even though you guys doesn't feel confident if you guys can achieve that scholarship or not, just try, because there's no harm in trying. Function korang dapat result cemerlang dalam SPM ialah untuk apply kepada scholarship ini. So yeah, preparation is key to nailing a scholarship application. Saya rasa sebab dah lama, especially saya sendiri, sebab lepas gap SPM tu dah lama saya tak buat benda-benda akademik seperti belajar. So saya rasa elok untuk kita buat preparation sebelum kita pergi ke sesuatu application ataupun interview tu. So Yeah, and also what important is that interviews and the friends you make during scholarship application is meaningful. Interview ni bukan hanyalah untuk korang just nak dapatkan scholarship. Ialah satu peluang untuk korang belajar. Even though it doesn't go well, you guys can learn from it. For example, saya tunjuk tadi saya dapat interview dari 4 badan scholarship iaitu TNB, Petronas, Bank Negara dan MARA. So my first scholarship interview was TNB, and honestly saya even though saya tak dapat yayasan TNB tu, tapi saya banyak belajar daripada interview tu yang saya guna apa yang saya silap buat masa first interview tu, saya guna untuk interview yang lain. So every interview is an opportunity to learn. Interview tu akan mengajar anda untuk what can I do better for the next interview. So and also I think this applies to everything in life. Usaha, doa, tawakal. You guys have worked hard for your SPM, so now is the stage to work hard for your scholarship application so that you guys can get go into your dream unis or get your dream scholarship. And also banyakkan doa dalam proses ni sebab banyak masa 2 bulan ni korang akan tunggu result. Saya tak tahu berapa lama scholarship tahun ni akan bagi, tapi usually 2 bulan. And also sometimes just keep in mind that sometimes luck plays a part too, because there are a lot of human factors that play in scholarship interview in the interview room, because everyone have a different perspective on certain issues. So maybe but like you can increase your luck by working harder and preparing more for the scholarship application. So masuk pada topik kita pada hari ini is essay prep. So apa yang kita nak preparation untuk essay ni? So first of all saya tahu ada memang tahun ni ada soalan-soalan yang telah diberikan. So analyze the prompt or topic given by scholarship bodies and faham betul-betul apa yang mereka nak. And then through the topic, make sure you demonstrate interest in your chosen course. Like for example, scholarship Bank Negara, bila korang tulis essay tu, the second question was about how you can improve your country through this. So make sure that you show your interest in the course and like what is your plan bila korang dah kerja nanti, apa yang korang nak buat, what you guys want to change the nation, what you guys want to contribute to the bank. And also every time korang dah finish tulis satu paragraph, make sure you guys read back untuk memastikan korang betul-betul jawab soalan tu. So if like let's say you guys read right and then you guys perasan yang ada satu ayat yang tak ada kaitan pun dengan soalan tu, make sure that you guys change it. And also one important thing is write about what they want to know about you, not just randomly about yourself. Korang tak perlu so korang tak perlu untuk tulis semua benda yang korang nak korang nak diorang tahu. Like let's say you guys have a lot of extracurricular activities. Korang tak perlu pun list semua extracurricular activities tu, sebab saya faham ada tendency untuk korang cuba nak try untuk sort of flex your achievement, but all this achievement dah ada dalam CJ korang. So korang tak perlu untuk cerita semua benda dalam essay tu, tapi apa yang korang perlu cerita is cerita bagaimana experience tu dapat membantu kepada how you are today. So so some few things you guys should do for self-check. If first question is like, if you ask yourself when korang dah habis tulis essay tu, is the essay hard to read and is there no coherence between each paragraph? Coherence ni maksud dia kesinambungan antara satu paragraph pada satu paragraph tu. Jika korang rasa essay korang tu susah untuk baca, most likely it will be rejected lah, unfortunately. And if your content in the essay does not answer the question at all, memang akan 100% confirm rejected. Like for example, if it asks about how you want to contribute to the nation, but then you korang hanya talk about like how you contribute to the bank, make sure that you guys balance it out, like ada dua part untuk bank negara dan juga untuk negara. So third is the content does not have a flow and you just list out your achievement without explaining it. So like jangan cakap like for example, saya join pertandingan X untuk saya join pertandingan X dan memenangi pingat emas dalam pertandingan X. So jangan cakap macam tu je. Like cakap experience korang masa pertandingan tu, apa yang korang buat preparation sebelum ke pertandingan tu, dan apa yang korang belajar daripada pertandingan tu. And also avoid using same perkataan and vocab over and over again. Like korang boleh cari like synonym words untuk elakkan benda ni jadi boring. And also, is the essay plagiarized? Of course, if you guys tiru essay orang or plagiarize the essay from the internet, you will definitely be rejected. Saya tahu Yayasan Khazanah ada satu like system AI, like they will check whether your essay will be is plagiarized or not. So if your essay is plagiarized, memang the AI system tu akan automatically reject korang. Like yeah, and I have known that it happened to some people before. And then is the essay grammatically correct? It doesn't like, kalau boleh make sure that, because you guys have time, right? You guys have like 2 weeks untuk buat essay ni, so make sure that you guys your essay is grammatically correct lah. And like there are a lot of resources available. So let's say your English teacher and also Grammarly. For example, masa saya SPM masa saya apply scholarship dulu, saya minta my English teacher, which was Sir Wan Khairul Sir Wan Khair, untuk check saya punya essay. So use your resources. There are a lot of online resources also untuk check korang punya grammar. Right. So next one, you guys might be asking, so where do I even start writing the essay? So like this is like how I would suggest you guys to start your essay. How do I start is that list out all your meaningful achievement inside or outside school, even how small it may be. It may be just you become a like president homeroom or president class, tapi experience apa yang diorang nak bukanlah besar atau kecil achievement tu. Whether achievement tu meaningful untuk korang ke tak, achievement tu shape experience korang kepada apa yang korang nak jadi ke tak. So next is saya suggest untuk buat create a brag sheet. Brag sheet maksud dia satu sheet korang buat kat Google Doc, and then brag sheet ni is that sheet yang basically list out all your achievements, like apa achievement korang yang dapat selama korang sekolah, and then like you can choose so that korang ada idea untuk what is going on. Okay, so step 1 is obviously untuk korang start write your essay, and then bila korang dah habis write your essay, check for errors in your essay, and also feel free to redo the essay if you feel your essay does not really answer the question, and then just keep refining your essay, like make sure that everything is grammatically correct, and then apa yang korang nak convey tu dapat sampai, and then also take a rest and read your essay again, sebab like most likely bila korang buat essay tu, bila korang nak check lepas tu, mind korang macam still pack dengan apa yang korang baru tulis. So maybe like saya suggest ambil like 1 day rest or 2 days rest, so that bila korang datang balik baca essay tu, korang akan ada perspektif yang lain, korang akan nampak apa sebenarnya salah korang. And then one very important is that ask someone to proofread your essay. Proofread your essay ni like means that someone suruh someone untuk baca dan perbaiki essay anda. Like kalau boleh someone to proofread your essay ni, sebab most scholarship application dia punya essay is very personal. So maybe korang boleh tanya you guys punya seniors, teachers, friends or parents, because diorang ni adalah orang yang memang betul-betul kenal diri anda. So make sure that you guys also, I think I've mentioned this before session sebelum ni, is that make sure that orang yang korang bagi essay untuk baca tu ialah orang yang bagi constructive criticism, like dia bukan jenis yang macam mat turut je cakap yes. Make sure cari someone yang akan cakap, oh ini salah, ni boleh perbaiki, ini boleh perbaiki. So make sure that korang tak cari orang yang jenis cakap yes. Sebab kalau korang cari jenis orang yes, memang korang tak akan dapat improve essay korang. So yeah, last step is submit your essay lah, obviously. Okay. So one of like, I think it's a good way to structure your essay is to look at company's core values. Like for example, Yayasan Khazanah, like they have their core values, which is you can always read on their website. Like for example, we respect different viewpoints. So maybe in your essay, in your Khazanah essay, you can show that you are some, like maybe korang boleh cerita yang korang pernah join team or something like a football team, and then like you guys take different viewpoints from every player, like for example lah, and then make sure that your essay are like sort of related to their core values lah. And like Bank Negara, we have the we have the I acted, which is Bank Negara core values, like integrity, authoritative, collaborative, trust, excellence, and diversity. So make sure that you guys try to sort of like relate korang punya essay tu dengan core values company ni untuk specific scholarship tu lah. Let's say kalau Yayasan Khazanah, make sure that your essay are sort of related to dia punya core values. Kalau Bank Negara tu, dia related to core values Bank Negara. So that your essay tu memang like specific for that type of scholarship. And like kalau boleh janganlah like let's say you guys do Khazanah essay then like copy paste do the same essay to Bank Negara, like put some effort lah because it's a different type of question.
Ada.
Yeah.
Kelas lain lah.
So so you guys might be answering what classify as achievement or experience. So apa-apa experience inside or outside the classroom which is meaningful to you. Like it can literally be any experience that shape you are to who you are today. Like contohnya jika experience tu inspire you untuk membuat sesuatu bidang itu. Jika experience itu motivate you untuk to be more involved in certain social issues like maybe the Palestine issues, maybe COVID-19 issues, and also if the experience improve korang punya problem solving or critical thinking skills, like or experience that change the way you think, like sebelum ni korang berfikiran dengan cara lain tapi sebabkan experience tu, maybe experience tu masuk boarding school ke apa, experience tu mengubah macam mana korang berfikir. And also like one advice is that jangan terlalu berfikir banyak tentang benda ni, do not overthink. Like apa jenis experience is fine, there's no like good or bad experience, tapi apa yang more important is how you explain the experience. And also one more important thing is please jangan letak like cringy academic flags. Like for example during my Bank Negara interview ada like someone who say his greatest hardship was getting third place in the batch. This is like he's trying to sort of flex that dia rasa dia dapat nombor 3 dalam batch is a very bad thing. Then and like I don't like at that time memang kita orang semua like we were very shocked that he said something like that. And then like yeah, we can see lah the interviewer he don't want to like look at you as like someone who's just like a nerd for nothing, like someone yang tak ada someone yang just pandai academic. They want a well-rounded person, so don't include like some like cringy academic flags like your 4 flat or something. Just I advise you to refrain from putting it lah, right? So okay, so next I will put 3 sample paragraph of like that I did. Saya buat ni like just like semalam kot. So saya tak sure if like it's a good quality or not, but I think it answers the question. And the 3 listed my how I structured the essay is that at first I listed 3 meaningful achievement in my life, which is first is getting into my school basketball team, second is hardship through robotics, and third is volunteering as tutor. So I will show you like how I would do it lah. Okay, so next one. This is for extracurricular or sports. Okay, I read it. Malay boys cannot play basketball. It's a Chinese sport, or at least that's what my friends and teachers told me. And to top it all off, you are short. So imagine this expression on a 15-year-old me when I wanted to attend a tryout for my school basketball team. Traditionally, in my school, the basketball team will be full of Chinese and it is near impossible to see a Malay in the team. Hence, I pondered upon myself, what my skin and race got to do with my ability to play. Nevertheless, I worked hard and demonstrated perseverance to beat this stigma. In fact, it sparks even more energy inside of me to work harder. I plan out my personal training and workout to improve my skills in basketball. As a result, I secured a place in the team and even qualified to play at the state level. On a broader scale, I believe that a more inclusive policy should be implemented in cases like this, as no one should be discriminated against or discouraged just because of their race. If I'm awarded the Bank Negara Scholarship, I look forward to learning the knowledge and skill of crafting well-targeted policies to solve social issues such as poverty, education, and turn my belief of a greater Malaysia into reality. So, apa yang korang boleh tengok di paragraph ni is that I started with a like cerita, narrative, and then like bila saya cerita benda tu, saya cerita like apa experience tu improve saya, like how I overcome the hardships. Like I talk about like I work hard and demonstrate perseverance to beat this stigma. in fact it sparks even more energy inside of me. So ayat-ayat ini menunjukkan kepada scholarship provider ni yang korang is like someone yang can go through hardship, someone yang akan take a challenge and solve the challenge. And apa yang penting mengenai essay seperti ini is that just don't make it like just narrative, jangan buat hanya story. Make sure that bila korang end paragraph tu, korang relate balik dengan soalan tu. Like for example, if I'm awarded the Bank Negara Scholarship, I look forward to learning the knowledge and skill of crafting well-targeted policies to solve social issues. Like, korang punya cerita tu dia link dengan apa yang korang nak cakap masa last ayat tu. So make sure that saya suggest untuk every end of paragraph, make sure that you guys relate balik kepada soalan tu. Jangan just korang cerita tapi tak ada kaitan pun dengan apa yang soalan minta. Okay, so this example untuk kalau korang nak letak achievement korang spot. So next one is like kalau academic competition. So alright, my heart palpitated wildly as the MC was about to announce the winner of the Grand Lab Design Challenge, a national level robotics competition. All my hard work over the past year comes down to this moment. I immediately burst into joyous cheer as I heard my school name being called as the national champion. Everyone sees the beautiful moment, but the story behind the win makes it even more meaningful. 12 hours prior to the competition at 8 p.m., our robot ran into system problem as it got into water when we were testing it. It felt like the whole world was turning upside down for me. We stayed up all night trying to change the wires, checking the Arduino motherboard, and doing everything we possibly could. News broke to my teacher advisor, and she was disappointed in us and refused to follow us to the competition in Penang. Even at the venue, when everyone else was preparing to present their project, we were still trying to fix it. Miraculously, working together with two of my other teammates, we managed to make the robot work again. Our robot Flonic, an ultrasonic flight detector system, managed to win the judges' heart, and we brought back the title of national champions back to our school. The experience taught me that in robotics or even life, there will always be the unexpected, and how we react to it is what matters. This event sparks my interest in engineering, as its complexity and uncertainty will always excite me. So like, ini example like saya like masa kat Taiping saya join satu pertandingan ni, the Grand Lab Design Challenge, and then like I talk about like apa masalah yang saya berlaku dalam hari pertandingan tu, which is kita orang punya robot time tu rosak, and then like how we stay up that night, like dia macam show that I'm perseverant people, like saya someone yang akan buat some like hardworking and like sort of someone who have perseverance in themselves. Like for example, I also talk about like how my teacher advisor was disappointed and refused to follow us. Tapi like even at the venues, I still like try to fix the robot, and like end up like we managed to fix the robot and we win the competition. Like this is a good way like talk about like apa hardship dalam hidup korang, apa hardship maybe dalam pertandingan, maybe dalam hidup korang, apa yang macam mana hardship tu membantu korang untuk membuat untuk jadi macam apa diri korang sendiri. And like to top it all off, make sure that in your penutup, like you talk about how it relate back in your course. Like for example, this event sparks my interest in engineering as its complexity and uncertainty will always excite me. Yeah. So third one is volunteering. Although in my boarding school, I get access to experienced teachers and a multitude of extra classes on the weekends, I do realize that there are more out there who miss out on these opportunities due to financial constraint. Hence, I volunteered for Tutors in Action, an NGO providing free tuition to underprivileged students. I realized that teaching is different from actually learning the stuff, as you want to keep the session as engaging as possible, and at the same time ensuring that the content is delivered in line with the syllabus. I structure out my lessons based on my students' level of understanding, and instead of just teaching the content, I constantly ask questions to my students to ensure she truly understands. I believe quality education in Malaysia should be accessible to everyone, irrespective of the economic status. Through studying economics, I look forward to delving further into the area of development economics with Bank Negara to uplift in underprivileged communities, as I believe education is a key to social mobility. Okay, so ini salah satu lagi contoh yang korang boleh ambil if korang ada buat apa-apa volunteering punya experience. You guys boleh include in your essay. It can be the main theme of the essay. Like for example, I talk about how I help give free tuition to underprivileged students, and then I talk about like macam mana saya belajar untuk mengajar someone. And then I also talk about like apa yang saya buat untuk pastikan student tu faham, which is I constantly ask question to my student to ensure she truly understand. And like tengok semua trend dalam bentuk saya sama je. Saya relate balik dengan soalan tu. Like for example, through studying economics, I look forward to delving further into the area of development economics with Bank Negara. So like you can see lah, like the flow is like I tell the story, and then saya cerita apa yang saya belajar daripada apa yang berlaku dalam hidup saya tu, dan penutup tu saya cerita macam mana experience tu boleh membantu saya untuk membantu syarikat seperti Bank Negara or like Yayasan Khazanah untuk membantu the community, membantu the nation. Yeah. Okay. So experience ni boleh jadi apa-apa. See, like it's very open. You can talk about maybe sport, maybe you can talk about maybe pertandingan-pertandingan korang pernah masuk, maybe jika korang pernah volunteer or like apa-apa lah, like it can be like a part-time job. Okay, so like I have some examples more. So ni example untuk part-time work. Okay. After secondary school, I worked part-time at a bakery as a cashier. I had to make transactions quickly while handling many different types of customers. Some were talkative, while others were impatient and irritable. By learning to connect with different types of people, I became more observant and communicative. Eventually, I even persuaded some customers to become regulars. My time in customer service has made me more adaptable, allowing me to multitask while working in harmony with all kinds of personalities. So, like korang boleh tengok, like saya cerita macam mana, like for example, like kerja part time, like and then like apa yang saya belajar masa saya kerja part time tu. Contohnya someone orang macam mana attitude orang yang pembeli tu, like some were talkative, some ialah dia tak sabar, some ialah dia orang cepat naik angin. And like by saya cerita macam mana by learning untuk belajar dengan different type of customer, saya become more observant and become more communicative. So you can see like the structure is saya cerita apa yang saya dapat daripada kerja part time saya, and then macam mana saya persuade, macam mana apa yang saya belajar daripada kerja part time tu. So like apa yang penting dalam essay scholarship ni is that korang cerita korang, dan korang cerita apa yang korang belajar daripada cerita tu. Jangan just list apa yang korang dah menang, apa yang korang dapat. Apa yang korang perlu list is that apa yang korang belajar daripada event tu. Even though like you can see ini like it can be anything, volunteering, part time. Okay. So next one is family task. So for example, this is a very personal one. Like it's not even competition, or it's not even a like activity. It's just a family task. For example, the essay is like, as the oldest of 5 children, I was often tasked with babysitting my younger siblings. Ranging of 1 to 14 years old, all of them required attention in their own ways. Much of my time after school was spent packing lunches, changing diapers, and comforting my siblings when they cried. However, whenever examination approached, balancing my family's well-being with my academic became increasingly difficult. Rather than working harder, I worked smarter. I took notes in class to reduce the need for after-school revision and make flashcards to quickly review my knowledge throughout the day. Although I was constantly kept busy by my family needs, I am ultimately grateful as the experience allowed me to hone my time management skill and multitask efficiency. So you can see that essay ni apa yang nak tunjuk, apa yang dia nak tunjuk is that dia nak tunjuk apa yang dia belajar, apa karakteristik yang dia belajar. So for example, like disebabkan dia terpaksa babysit adik dia, dia belajar time management skill. Dia belajar macam mana dia nak macam mana dia nak time kehidupan dia. So for example, jika let's say kalau korang maybe BWP or LDP dekat sekolah, kat MRSM, you guys can talk about like how you guys banyak buat event, tapi how you guys still can manage your time management and keep your grades. This is like some ideas that I think is great lah, like if you guys can put in your essay. Okay. So yeah, another one is if you guys are a debater, you guys can talk about like your debate experience, and also like just talk about like how debate can help you step out of comfort zone. And yeah, I think this one, yeah, just like same structure lah. You just talk about your experience and then talk about what you learn, and what is the karakteristik yang korang belajar daripada benda ni. Alright, so okay, so my final tips for you guys is writing a good scholarship essay, ambil masa and like try to write multiple draft before submitting. So maybe like let's say you guys write korang punya first draft and then keep improving the first draft. Like korang punya first draft dengan korang punya final essay tu memang akan be very different. Like jika korang terus type essay korang from your ideas is like it's not perfect. Korang kena make sure bila korang selalu check, selalu perbetulkan dengan korang punya kawan, korang punya senior, korang punya cikgu, korang akan dapat essay yang betul-betul menjawab soalan yang diberikan. So yeah, always a good reminder that your parents, senior, friends and teachers are your best resources because they know you best. Parent korang, senior korang, kawan korang, cikgu korang ialah orang yang betul-betul kenal dengan korang, dan structure kebanyakan essay scholarship ni is very personal, so make sure that korang bagi diorang baca and then tanya diorang apa yang diorang rasa tentang experience tu, apa yang diorang rasa boleh improve dalam essay writing tu, and also just send, kalau boleh make sure that someone proofread it. It's not compulsory, tapi kalau korang dapat cari someone yang boleh bantu korang untuk baca essay tu is a good way lah. Okay. So grammar, and then also essay, just reminder that essay is only a part of korang punya application. Ada banyak lagi faktor macam korang punya extracurricular, korang punya academic result, korang punya interview, korang punya exam, assessment. Essay hanyalah satu part of your application. It's not everything, and so don't stress too much about it. Ada banyak lagi benda yang boleh factor whether korang dapat scholarship tu atau tak. And then a kind reminder that dia tak ada fixed way of writing a scholarship essay. Just be creative. Like you're a friend and you might have a very different kind of essay. Someone maybe have more sort of story-based narrative essay. Someone can have like a more descriptive essay. But then there's a chance that both of you can get the scholarship because there's no fixed way of writing the scholarship. Just be creative about how you talk about your experience. And also, make sure your essay always relate back to the question and keep refining your essay. Yeah. So I think itu je, and like just a kind reminder that nanti saya dan Amirul, Mango yang buat talk hari tu, kita orang plan untuk buat mock interview dengan batch korang kalau maybe end of June ataupun early July. Sebab sekarang saya tahu yang korang semua still busy dengan scholarship application. So kita orang kita orang akan buat mock interview tu maybe end of June atau early July, dan kalau ada demand we will just proceed with the mock interview lah. Right, so that's all. Thank you. So now Q&A if anyone got question.
Okay. So sesiapa yang mempunyai soalan, anda boleh unmute-kan anda punya mic ataupun anda boleh typekan di ruangan chat untuk kita tanyakan dan sama-sama menjawab soalan anda. Tapi sebelum tu, saya nak tanya Akif, for you punya essay, berapa kali you recheck, and maksudnya sebelum dapat the final solid essay yang dihantar tu, berapa kali proses yang you sendiri buat?
Soalan yang baik. Saya rasa maybe dalam 2 ke 3 kali saya check. Saya rasa yang first time saya hantar dekat Sir Wan Kai. Saya rasa semua orang kenal Sir Wan Kai. So saya tanya dia apa yang dia rasa saya boleh improve, and then lepas tu saya tanya saya punya parents sebab dia orang memang betul-betul kenal saya. Then selepas tu saya maybe like 2 or 3 times saya check, and then saya submit essay tu.
So Wan Kai ada dalam. If you want to say hi.
Ya, betul. Assalamualaikum Sir Wan Kai.
That was random, no need to tegur me.
Ada soalan ke?
Kejap ya, I check.
Akif, I would like to ask,
Right.
For the field of study that you chose to study in,
how in depth or how much do you think is considered enough for you to show your some sort of familiarity or knowledge in that chosen specific study at the level of SPM application for scholarship?
Right, good question. So I guess like there is no like the interviewers will not have any expectations on a prerequisite knowledge of the certain course that you apply to, but it's always a good practice for you to know the course well because you are applying for the course. So for example, if you're applying for economics, like you don't need to know the theory of economics, like all the technicalities of economics, but a good thing to know is that, like for example, if you apply for economics, you should know about the recent issues that just happened in economics. For example, maybe in the context of today, it's about probably COVID-19, the impact of COVID-19 on to our country, Malaysia, and also maybe regarding how government budget how government budget are spent on mitigating the effects of COVID-19 and whether how much we should go into government budget deficit, something like it doesn't need to go too in depth. Just make sure that you guys know what is happening, because in the interview most likely they will ask questions that of recent issues. Like for example, during my Bank Negara interview, one of the questions asked was regarding whether Malaysia Airlines, the government should still support Malaysia Airlines at that time, because in 2019, I think at that time Malaysia Airlines was doing very bad. So yeah, that was one of the questions in my interview. So just make sure that you read the news. Like for example, if you are doing computer science, maybe read on AI and just read on recent issues on the topics. You don't need to know about the technicalities of your course, because they will not expect you to know it at this stage level. Yeah. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you.
Akif, I have a question. So, masa you prepare for this BNM punya application, right? To what extent did you do your research on BNM in particular? Like what is BNM? What do they do? And then to what extent do you understand that exactly? And do they ask this during the interview?
To be honest, like I go to the bank before the interview. I go to the bank website and I pretty much memorize all the structures, all the organization structures. I memorize all the mission statement of the bank, apa yang bank buat, and then like they do ask the question in the interview, but they do not expect you to give a textbook answer. Like for example, one of my interviewer, I think you know, which was Reza Minhad. To everyone who don't know, he's an actor for Pisau Cukur. So he was my interviewer, and then he asked me, apa bank negara buat? And then like I already memorized in my mind, okay, or to promote monetary and financial stability, monetary and fiscal policy. So I basically memorized everything in my mind. And then dia cakap, so apa maksud dia? So like saya terdiam lah, sebab memang saya cakap, sebab dia orang tahu yang kalau korang hafal website tu, memang saya honestly tanya saya hafal website tu. And then ada someone yang daripada kawan saya daripada MLC TGV, dia cakap, oh bank negara print duit, and like time tu interview tu lagi setuju dengan jawapan dia daripada jawapan saya, sebab saya bagi jawapan yang saya hafal dan bukan jawapan yang saya faham. So make sure that you guys jangan hafal lah, like dia orang tak akan tanya, oh siapa governor bank negara, siapa deputy governor bank negara, dia orang tak akan tanya benda tu. Like just bagi honest answer lah, apa yang korang faham, apa yang bank negara buat, apa yang Petronas buat. Yeah, jangan baca lah all the mission statement, just waste of time lah, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
I agree,
Akif,
I
we
agree.
have so next we have another question. Iza asks, should we write essays that align with the scholarship body's vision, or is it better to focus on your own vision? Write a personal statement stating your reasons for applying the scholarship.
Okay, so soalan yang bagus. Saya rasa like for example, kalau soalan tu like one of the bank negara question is that macam mana korang plan untuk buat course tu, dan macam mana korang nak contribute back kepada bank negara dan kepada negara. So like for example, kalau korang tulis essay tu, janganlah like let's say for example korang apply computer science, tiba-tiba korang nak tulis, oh saya nak buat kereta tanpa pandu di Malaysia, like dia tak ada kaitan dengan bank negara kan, like you guys get the idea right, like make sure that apa yang korang tulis tu vision apa yang korang nak buat untuk bank negara dan kepada negara tu sort of ada kaitan, sort of overlap apa yang boleh benefit pada bank negara dan pada negara. Like janganlah talk about like jangan, like for example if you do economics, maybe talk about development economics, maybe talk about health economics, like but tapi apa yang saya perasan yang training scholarship Esei ni, diorang bukanlah nak kita tahu sangat mengenai kos itu, tapi diorang nak tahu macam mana idea kita untuk contribute balik kepada negara jika kita apabila kita tulis scholarship Esei itu. Dan like I think also one more thing I want to add is that kalau rezeki korang dapat interview ke bank negara atau khazanah, make sure that sebelum korang pergi interview tu korang baca balik essay korang, sebab nanti dalam interview tu there's a chance that diorang akan tanya balik poin-poin korang dalam essay korang tu.
Okay, thank you. Next, ada soalan di DM saya. Dia tanya, does the length of your essay play a key role in securing the scholarship punya apa kata ni? Dia punya tempat lah. Okay.
Okay, so like for example, I think hari tu ada someone tanya scholarship bank negara tu like A and B, is it total 500 ataupun dua-dua 500? Jawapan dia is that total is 500. So kalau saya suggestkan maybe like korang boleh buat 250, tapi it's terpulang pada korang kalau korang nak structure it a different way, but make sure that the total is approximately 500 words. Like approximately means that it can be less, but like if kalau lebih, like let's say 5 words or like kurang is fine, but let's say if it's more like 505 words tapi itu tak apa. Dan saya rasa kalau boleh ikut dia punya guideline tu. Let's say for example dia cakap approximately 1000 words, maybe minimum you should do maybe like 900 words or 950 words lah. But it's sebab let's say kalau korang nak tulis lebih sangat pun, I think they will penalize you because there are a lot of applications, so they want to save time also, and like it's not fair kalau someone tulis 1500 words for khazanah for example, and then ada person who write 1000 words. It's not fair for the 1000 words because the rule specifically says that dia kena 1000 words.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so next kita ada soalan from Daniel Hakim. He asks, is there any specific type is there any specific type or style of sentence that we really should avoid from using?
Pasal structure sentence ni saya rasa saya tak like ada like structure sentence maksud dia like what, like simple sentence, complex sentence or
I think so lah from the question.
Saya rasa tak ada sebab ni bukanlah jenis like writing punya competition ke apa. Ini hanyalah dia nak tengok apa yang korang cerita. So like tapi apa yang saya suggest is that kalau korang nak macam writing style yang maybe you guys can start with a statement, maybe you guys can, but like there's no fixed way lah. You can diorang tak akan penalize korang kalau korang buat banyak simple sentence, banyak complex sentence or anything. Diorang takkan look at your like the scholarship essay does not look at your ability to write or your English ability. They look at you as a person. So saya rasa tak ada masalah pun kalau tak ada any type of sentence structure yang they should avoid.
Okay, next kita ada from Nadia. Dia lari sikit, so dia tanya tentang any tips untuk orang yang nak sambung medik sebab sekarang banyak scholarship tak offer untuk sambung belajar medik.
So good question. So sebelum ni kalau nak buat medik, biasanya kalau nak buat medik overseas is that bank negara ada kijang emas, tapi 2 tahun lepas batch saya diorang dah stop offer. So sekarang Mara pun batch saya pun diorang dah stop offer untuk hantar medik ke overseas. Saya tak berapa sure sebab dia kenapa, tapi saya rasa kalau korang nak buat overseas, the only option now is to go to College Marakulim untuk buat asasi USM KLE, dan korang akan lepas asasi itu korang akan dihantar ke USM KLE di India. As of now, I think itu hanyalah salah satunya cara untuk kalau korang nak sambung overseas untuk kos bagi bidang perubatan. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I add something about the previous question?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
I'm sorry for stealing your limelight, Akif.
Sure, go on.
But I've been actually checking 2 essays from 2 different students so far. I will not tell who. But although the general structure of the essays are good, there are a couple of things I have to say. My opinion and my discussion with my colleagues, your Ansara, your super seniors. One is that for the essays, first the tone. I don't say that you have to write a really formal story or a really but you have to write only formal thing. In fact, story is actually a one way as a gateway to your thinking, just like in the samples that we've seen. Cuma jangan what first is melodramatic. It's like you are not writing a novel though. Because the moment the tone is melodramatic, you have a limit of words, unfortunately. So while the experience is a good indicator of actually allowing the interviewers or allowing the agency to actually look into your viewpoints in life or your life experiences, it will disallow you to actually elaborate later on in terms of your vision, in terms of how you learn from it. So I think that's the danger of it. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's somewhat cliche. So I know tragedy is a good way of evoking sympathy or evoking interest in someone, but be very careful. We don't want it to turn into melodramatic that you as if you are relying on sympathy. No, because I know all of you have, despite everything that happened to you, you all have your strength and derive from tragedy or non-tragedy. So you should give out a more holistic view instead of relying on a sentiment only. The second thing is that I would suggest you do not be self-praising too much. I deserve this because I am the best among the best. No, it's very, I don't know, self-righteous. I would say it defeats the purpose. You don't have to be humble. Tell everything about your strengths and everything, but you don't be egotistical about it. So that's egoistic. Ego is quite a bad thing to portray, and that's where the tone comes in, the choice of vocab, the way of you are writing the sentence will create impression on you, and we don't want it to be too aggrandizing ataupun too hyperbolic. I don't know whether Akif will agree with me on that, maybe because, but yeah, that's my discussion before and all.
Yeah, I think I agree with Suwankai's point, but then the narrative part of the essay is just meant to deliver your points on your on how you learn from the story. But then I think the good thing is try to find a balance of the just make sure that you don't talk too much of just don't make sure because you have a limit of words, right? Let's say if it's 500 words, make sure that most of your parts, maybe 300 words are about you talking about how you learn from the story, and the other 200 words probably maybe talking about the narrative part of how you come to the point. Yeah, so I think I agree with Swanka and I understand what he's saying. And in fact, my scholarship essays back then are mostly descriptive, but yeah, just try to find a balance. So, a good point by Swanka. Thank you. Ada soalan you?
For now, we don't have any question yet.
Akif,
Yeah.
Akif, cikgu nak tanya. Tapi tadi masa cikgu baca yang Akif tuliskan, cikgu perasan betul bila kita baca tu kita rasa macam kamu tak terlalu merendah diri, kamu tak terlalu meninggikan diri. It's quite good lah. Cuma cikgu tertanya-tanya macam mana kita nak untuk pelajar yang macam Akif, mungkin Akif ada pengalaman yang macam pergi national challenge kan, semua tu macam mana kita nak bagi tahu kat pelajar ni, macam bagi diorang some ideas yang sebenarnya cikgu rasa bila cikgu baca pun sebenarnya tak payah pun kita perlu pengalaman yang macam bombastik sangat pun. Yang sebenarnya kita kena pandai olah. Tapi macam kalau pelajar yang langsung tak ada apa-apa, Akif,
Saya rasa
cikgu pasti je ada dalam ni kan, yang dia tak nampak yang dia sebenarnya ada je pengalaman. Apa Akif punya nasihat pada pelajar-pelajar yang macam ni?
saya rasa dia bukan pelajar-pelajar sini dia bukan tak ada pengalaman, tapi dia tak perasan pengalaman dia. Sebab
Yes. Betul Akif.
so apa yang saya boleh cadang is maybe talk with your parent ataupun dengan your friend yang betul-betul kenal, your best friend, like talk about apa yang diorang rasa pasal korang, so that you can make it a topic in the scholarship essay lah. Yeah. Like, it can be very small thing, maybe pengalaman korang jadi ahli homeroom, pengalaman korang masa hari sukan, it can be anything. At least korang belajar something daripada benda tu is fine. Because diorang tak assess korang mengenai level di mana korang main state level, korang main national level, korang main international level. Apa yang diorang assess is apa yang korang belajar daripada pengalaman korang tu. Jikalau korang even main international level in like maybe robotics, tapi kalau korang tak belajar, korang tak elaborate well on the point apa yang korang belajar dari pertandingan tu pun dia tak function juga. Yeah. So my advice is to like talk with someone that knows you well lah. Because saya rasa bukan masalah dia tak tahu apa ni. Dia bukan dia tak ada, dia tak tahu je. Yeah.
Okay Akif.
Dia tak
Somebody
sedar
ask.
je yang dia ada pengalaman tu.
Sorry.
Ya cikgu. Sorry.
Apa dia? Tapi tu Akif, cikgu setujulah. Kira tu pasal apa yang dia rasa dia tak jumpa the idea tu, dia kena bercakap dengan orang yang kenal, mungkin dengan cikgu-cikgu yang dikenal dia, yang tahu tentang dia. Akif, cikgu ada soalan yang kedua. Sekejap Azri cikgu tengok cikgu terlupa. Akif, boleh tak kalau kita ceritakan tentang apa pandangan Akif kalau dalam karangan tu dia ada ceritakan tentang maybe something bad yang dia pernah lakukan ke? So what apa yang dia belajar daripada itu ke? Is it okay?
Saya rasa tu is a brilliant idea lah, because
Is it okay untuk write down?
saya rasa it's okay because like if you have done something bad before, that means that you mau betul-betul belajar daripada benda tu. Sebab saya rasa itu idea yang baik. Tapi just make sure that you experience explain yang macam mana diri anda dah berubah sejak event yang korang buat tu. Yes, just like
Saya rasa dia akan jadi satu soalan dekat
soalan dekat interviewer. Dia akan jadi satu soalan yang menarik lah masa interviewer tu nak tanya.
Cikgu rasa dia akan jadi satu soalan untuk interviewer lah. Betul. Okay, thank you. Okay Azri, go.
Okay, cikgu. Okay, next. Somebody ask, abang betul ke more scholarship kena ada kabel untuk dapat? Yes. So that's the question.
Kabel, saya rasa antara kawan-kawan saya yang band negara dan kawan-kawan saya yang kerja YTS Kazanah ke Shell ke, memang saya tahu memang diorang tak ada kabel. In fact, setengah scholarship, for example Petronas, kalau abang korang dah pernah dapat atau family member korang dah pernah dapat, korang tak boleh apply for the scholarship tu in the first place. Saya ingat masa batch saya pun ada beberapa orang batchmate saya yang disebabkan abang diorang dah dapat, abang atau kakak diorang dah dapat scholarship tu, diorang tak akan dapat. Dan saya rasa memang tak ada kabel lah. Maybe ada tapi saya not in my it's very small thing lah, maybe like, tapi saya rasa most scholarship memang ramai orang dapat based on merit.
Okay. So another question ialah somebody boleh tak elaborate more on point dekat essay prep tadi kan yang Akif share, the fourth point which is write what they want to know about you and not just randomly about yourself. So somebody boleh tak elaborate more on that?
Okay, so apa yang saya maksudkan is that like bila korang tulis essay tu, like korang ada tendency untuk tulis essay tu like very general. For example, saya rasa semangkai tahu saya dulu masa dekat RSM, saya jenis yang apa-apa starting English essay saya akan cakap pasal IR 4.0, like Industrial Revolution 4.0. Padahal essay saya tu tak ada kaitan pun dengan IR 4.0. Saya rasa like make sure that apa yang korang tulis tu janganlah korang cakap like random stuff like oh saya masuk ni, saya masuk ni, saya masuk ni. Maksud saya janganlah list achievement je. Like make sure that korang jawab balik soalan tu. Like the structure is the same. Talk about your story and then talk about what you learn and then tie it all back together to answer the question. Yeah, the structure is the same. And then just pastikan yang korang tak hanya listkan achievement tu. Like the key part of the answering the question is not about your achievement. The key part is what you learn from the achievement. Your achievement tu like only a small part. Like your experience tu only a small part of what they want. Diorang tak kisah pun apa yang diorang tak kisah pun kalau korang pernah wakil Malaysia ke, korang pernah buat robot ni ke, korang pernah buat apa-apa ke, like diorang tak kisah pun. Diorang kisah apa yang korang belajar dari experience korang tu. Yeah. So that's why lah saya rasa the good thing about scholarship essay ni is that dia tak discriminate against orang yang tak ada banyak sangat pertandingan experience, sebab basically boleh letak apa-apa je yang kita nak. Like memang semua orang should have something to talk lah. Like kalau just like I said just now, kalau korang tak tahu apa yang korang nak cakap, just talk with your parent, talk with your friend, talk with Cikgu Aisyah ke apa as a counsellor. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, kejap. Kita ketiadaan soalan sebentar.
Can I add a bit?
Boleh Wan Kai, silakan.
To those who are applying for scholarship essays, I would suggest you can search for personal statements online. Of course, you can. However, as what Akif said, it's not really about the numbers of achievement. It's about the term we use dalam this kind of writing, college writing, is reflective. A reflection or a reflective writing, as I said, kalau belajar kat dalam SPM dulu, is a way that you learn a lesson something. That's why kita kalau kita list out things, we sound egoistic sebenarnya. So that's why mesti ada di penghujungnya. So you can either do those things, a couple of things. First, the essay is structured as a problem. So you are problematizing the issue, and then you show how you solve it and what you learn from it. So that's a problem-based kind of writing. Okay. The second part is that you first awak duduk and then you think about one of the most or a couple of momentous or impactful events that happen in your life. Cuma be very careful on this. That's because it's going to be a narrative or a story. You tend to akan menggambarkan awan, rumah, adik-beradik, awak akan describe adik-beradik kau kuruh tinggi, mak penyayang. No, it's okay to include it, but I think it's more about your personal monologue and personal opinion about stuff, your observation about stuff and the conflict that happened and how you actually learn a lesson or how you solve it through creativity or innovation or through sheer effort. So those are the kind of thing. The adjectives is on you. It's not about the adjectives or the descriptives on about every single thing around you. So you need to strike a balance on it a bit so that it doesn't turn into a cliche. Cliche is a really bad thing to happen. Okay.
Yeah, and also to add on Suwan Kai's point, yeah, cliche is probably the number one thing that you guys should avoid, because keep in mind that most scholarship bodies, they read like thousands of scholarship essays. Like for example, Bank Negara got like nearly 2,000 scholarship essays to read. So if they keep reading the same stuff, then most likely they're not, you'll be rejected. Yeah. And also that's one of the what's dangerous about reading scholarship essays online. Because if you read scholarship essays online, then there's a tendency that you will sort of try to copy the essay. Like for example, if like there's a website that provides scholarship essay, then if like 10 people that follow the same pattern, then it will be a dangerous thing for you. Make sure that it's unique towards yourself. Yeah. Also,
Okay. Okay.
that's one of the
Continue.
tu salah satu sebab kenapa saya tak nak share scholarship essay saya, sebab saya risau like if like you guys terlalu ikut pada scholarship essay saya, sebab because everyone are unique to themselves and like they have their own way of telling their story. So yeah, and also like avoid reading, like kalau let's say kawan korang apply scholarship sama, avoid like sort of trying to read their essay, because there will be a tendency for you to aku nak try nak tiru essay dia, like like just avoid them. Okay, Azri balik moderator.
Okay. Okay, next. Somebody asked in the chat session, dia tanya regarding writing your experience, is it okay if the experience have a negative theme?
Yeah, it's totally fine. Just like someone can say, it can be a tragedy, it can be a non-tragedy. Like, but what's most important is you talk, like the ending must be positive. Like, don't talk about it all being negative. Just like because in the end we want a positive outcome, right? So make sure that you talk about it can be like maybe you have faced a certain discrimination before. Maybe you have faced a certain like you have your teach, like maybe someone told you this thing before, this bad thing to you, but then what most important is how you react towards the negative things that you encounter in your life. Yeah, it's fine. In fact, I think it'll be more interesting if you write negative things actually. Yeah.
Yes, setuju, agak setuju dengan point tu.
Tapi kena berpada-pada lah.
Tapi janganlah macam 100% like 500 word tu 400 word semua negatif je, janganlah macam like kena ada positif kat hidup. So
betul. Okay, so our next question from Hanim, dia tanya boleh tak nak tanya how nak jawab soalan macam how to contribute to country, sebab soalan macam skop besar sangat untuk jawab and macam susah nak prove yang kita boleh contribute to negara. Macam tu soalan dia. Maksudnya macam mana nak jawab untuk bahagian macam how to contribute to country macam tu.
So soalan yang baik. So how to contribute to the nation, like just keep in mind that orang yang baca scholarship essay, we know that you guys are 17, 18 years old. So like you might not really have a clear answer to how can you contribute back to the nation. I remember upon during my interview when I say that I wanted to solve Malaysians' economic issues, 4 of my interviewers they laughed at me because I said something like that, because they say, oh, we cannot solve Malaysian economic issue, how can you solve economic issues? So yeah, like, but try to sort of like choose a certain like a specific issue lah. Like for example, maybe if you're applying for economics, maybe talk about maybe you can talk about COVID-19, you can talk about maybe cryptocurrency is also a very cool thing to talk about if you apply for finance. And for example, if you guys are applying for accounting and finance, cool sub-specialization in is what is it called? Is it forensic accounting? Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. It's interesting topic to talk about. So I would suggest that try to find of like a subtopic of the course you're applying to, and then talk about it. Yeah, and how you can contribute back to the nation. Like it doesn't like it may sound unrealistic, but if you what they want to see from you is that they want to see someone who have a plan. Whether the plan is achievable or not is another question. But if you have a vision on like how you can improve your country, that's fine already. Yeah.
Okay, thank you Akif. So next our question, ada 2 soalan, so saya kumpulkan terus. So first daripada Hazimi, he asked dia tengok betul-betul ke grammar kita ke kalau ada minor mistake dia macam tak kisah sangat ke macam tu. And next satu lagi from Lily, they ask ni menarik soalan ni sebenarnya. So what is actually considered as cliche?
Oh, okay. Okay, so soalan yang pertama tu is apa soalan pertama tadi? Kalau
untuk in term of grammar, so
yes.
macam dia betul-betul tengok. Okay.
So pasal grammar ni orang yang assess essay korang tu bukanlah orang yang they don't have an English degree, so it shouldn't be a problem. Tapi kalau korang punya grammar tu at a point where diorang tahu lah yang korang punya grammar tu teruk, and then diorang tak faham. Tapi kalau let's say simple grammatical mistake is okay lah. Yeah, but I think there's no reason that your grammar should be bad, because like you can always use online resources. Then you can always ask your friends that are good in English or your teacher to fix your but small simple mistakes should be fine. And then answering the second.
Tambah sikit.
Okay.
Cikgu nak tambah sikit sebelum Aki buat soalan kedua. Cikgu rasa memang betul satu benda bila kamu buat essay, check your grammar dengan English teacher, betul. Itu memang you kena buat. Sebab English teacher boleh betulkan balik you punya minor ke major ke, at least lah. Jangan hantar je dulu. Please cari your English teacher yang boleh boleh baca ayat kamu tu, boleh bagi komen. Saya rasa benda tu lah, penting lah benda tu. Itu bukan add on tau, itu memang penting. Okay? Alright.
So apa yang cliche, maybe like kalau you guys maybe tiba-tiba like start with bagi a quote, like for example korang cakap pasal bagi quote, a live quote, and then you guys talk about the quote. Maybe that is like something cliche, because I think a lot of people will do. And also like if for example, if you talk too much about your academics, like your academic results, and if let's say you talk about your academic result that mula korang punya academic result teruk and then korang improve, that is fine. But tapi kalau let's say korang like sort of try not flex that you are smart, then that is like it's dangerous lah. I don't really have a specific answer lah apa yang cliche, apa yang tak cliche, tapi I think
few.
Yeah.
Sorry Akif, I will
continue.
celah you. Contoh, cancer. Please avoid topic cancer, especially if that's the whole idea of your story, of your essay. I wouldn't say it's appropriate. Or you want to talk about, if you do not give me the scholarship, I will not be able to study. All those are desperate moves, and tragedy memang is a good agent for sympathy tau. Tapi when people are reading 2000 essays, for example, you pernah di SPM, have seen so many things, so many stories like that. So that sentiment is wasted. So cuba avoid those kind of cliche. And then some in previous years, the essays that I marked for personal statement, khazanah or Bank Negara, even from adik MRSM pun yang hantar, dia orang suka tabur all these idioms tau. Idioms and quotes. Every single paragraph nak ada idiom. So no, this is not BM essay. I don't, if the idiom can be substituted with only one word that truly exemplify the whole expression of what you want to mean, then it's not necessary to add the idioms. You are not taking, you are not applying for English literature degree. So it's a wasted effort, I would say. You do not even need to flex your mastery in English language. That's why I don't think it's a necessary. In fact, it's a very cliche thing to do. Okay, thank you.
To add on Sewangkai point, like for example, if you use like the word aggregates instead of bad, like maybe it can cause problem to you, because like let's say if orang yang tanda korang punya scholarship essay tu, dia orang sendiri tak tahu apa maksud yang korang tu too bombastic, and then they need to go to dictionary, they need to go to Google Translate to understand your words. Itu akan membuatkan dia orang lagi hassle. And then kalau banyak sangat perkataan bombastic yang memang orang tak faham, like normal people don't understand, then it will cause a backlash to you actually, because you are causing a trouble untuk orang yang nak baca scholarship essay korang ni, supaya dia kena always look the definition of your words. Yeah, so it's very dangerous lah. And also I try to I think this is very important, like for example, like general in academic writing lah, try to simplify your words, like tries to not just type all your, try to reduce your characters and words used so that you can talk more. Like for example, if you guys are applying for UK universities nanti, you guys need to do this thing called personal statement for UCAS, and then this personal statement only can have 4,000 characters, which is around, I think, roughly 300 words. So with these 300 words, you need to apply to all the UK universities. So it's good to practice from now that you write what is only needed, and then make sure that the choice of words are simple and easy to understand. Back to
So remember rakan-rakan, simple and padat. Yeah. Okay, so kita dah menghampiri penamat. So saya rasa kita boleh saya
Ambil gambar.
okay, saya nak sebelum tu cikgu, sebelum kita ambil gambar, saya nak bagi mungkin Akif ada apa-apa, Akif dan juga Sewangkai ada apa-apa macam last word for our peserta untuk malam ni. Okay, boleh dipersilakan.
siapa dulu, saya ke Sewangkai?
Mana-mana ke Sewangkai nak start dulu?
I have nothing to say, thank you.
Okay, so Akif.
Okay, so over the years, Sewangkai haven't changed. Okay, so saya doakan yang korang akan dapat buat scholarship essay ni dengan baik, and just I think make sure that you guys relate back to the question, and then it's not easy to write a good scholarship essay. It takes time. For me myself, I took around a week and plus a few days, around 1 week to 2 weeks lah untuk habiskan essay tu. Tapi always remember that we the seniors, Ansara, Sewangkai, we are always ready to help you guys, maybe to check on your essays, maybe to maybe Cikgu Aisyah juga untuk check essay korang, apa yang boleh diimprove, apa yang korang patut letak, apa yang korang tak patut letak. And then just ingat yang scholarship essay ni is only a part of your application, and I know that Yayasan Khazanah, for example, is not the main thing because you still have the assessment. But for Bank Negara, it's quite important. So jangan stress too much on this scholarship essay lah, because ada banyak lagi factor that take into place, like your interview, your assessment, your exam, your extracurriculars. It's not the end of the world. And also just keep in mind that just try to go to as much interviews as you can, because this is for personally, I think all the interviews yang saya pergi is that a new experience for me, and I learned the experience I learned I can use for another scholarship interview that I really wanted lah. And yeah, saya doakan batch tahun ni akan ada lah someone from Taipei yang dapat Bank Negara ataupun ada scholarship.
Amin.
Lain.
Okay, so I think that conclude our session tonight. Jadi sebelum kita tutup majlis, kita dah sampai part yang Cikgu Aisyah suka, ambil gambar. Jadi semua orang boleh boleh turn on your camera. So kita nak ada sikit photoshoot.
Buka kamera ya semua orang.
Buka kamera. Alan, dia memang satu page ni je kan?
I jadi 2 sebenarnya.
Oh yeah.
Sebab tak berapa orang je ni tak muat. 3 orang tak muat.
3 orang tak muat
Okay. Tolong buka kamera semua orang please.
Macam tu, I ambil gambar 2 page lah. Okay, so semua orang buka kamera.
Sebab lepas ni kita ada session lain pula. Izrin,
Nur,
Aisyah, Said Akil,
Lily,
Aileen,
Ayuni,
Sorry,
Nurin,
I'm in the
Raja
dark.
Rosie,
Najib.
Amai, Lily,
Okay,
Izzah,
tak apa.
Hasha, Christina, Yusof,
Yusof,
Fidel, Rujahan, Syarul
Yuni, Raja
Amin,
Najib, Jazimin, Afif Jazimin.
laju
Ya cikgu saya
sikit. Okay.
Muat je ni rasmi satu.
muat
Seorang je.
Oh,
Wan Kai, jom gambar sekali.
semangkai cakap dia dalam gelap.
Dia dah-
Okey dah. Saya
Okay,
ambil
Izrin.
yang ada cikgu. Tu
Okay,
Yuni. Okey, saya ambil yang ada dah. Okey.
Cepat.
Okey, 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Sekejap Okey, page sebelah. Okey. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Last 1 2 3. Okey. So itu sahaja sesi kita untuk hari ini. Terima kasih kerana sudi dengar bersama-sama dengan kami. Tadi kami daripada pihak Ansar Typing berharap sesi ini memberikan panduan dan juga sedikit sebanyak tips dan bantuan kepada anda untuk menulis esei anda untuk scholarship. Sekian, terima kasih. Terima kasih banyak-banyak.